Yeah, g'day. It's Damo here again from contractorsforhire.com.au, and what we're going to take a look at today is a presentation about getting value for money in internet marketing, specifically focused at tradesmen and contractors who are operating in the Australian capital cities. We're going to take a walk through the concepts of paid placement, what it costs to get yourself to the top of the search results in some of these major markets, and why it often really doesn't represent very good value for money, and how it is that by getting a little bit smarter about things, you really can get some great results without the costs. Once again, this is a presentation from contractorsforhire.com.au. We are looking for Australia's best tradies. Visit yes.contractorsforhire.com.au if you're one of them. Let's start with a bit of background on paid placement, what it is, how it works. The basic concept behind paid placement is that you pay a fee per click or per display in order to get yourself to the top of the search engine results. Some of these fees can be really quite high. Let's take a look at a very common and high competition trades-related niche, which would be plumbing, and let's take a look at some of the major Australian capitals and see what it would cost you to get 250 clicks to your website using paid placement for the search phrase plumbing followed by your followed by your city name. So here we are, here's a chart. Let's take a look at Sydney first up. To get 250 clicks for Plumber Sydney, you're looking at just over $9,000. Now that's a pretty substantial investment when you think about the fact that most plumbers will charge $100 an hour. So there's a solid 90 hours of work that you're going to pay just to put your name in front of 250 people. That's not getting 250 jobs. For the other cities in Australia, it is a little bit lower. Melbourne, for instance, you're looking at $4,300. For Perth, $5,003. Brisbane, $5,161. And Adelaide coming in at number 2 with $8,080. Okay, so that's one of the really, really high competition niches. Let's have a look at one that's possibly not quite as high on the competition front, but also is pretty expensive. This is what it's going to cost you to get 250 click-throughs to your website for the demolition keyword. Again, we're looking at the same markets. And it's important to note, again, this is just click-throughs. This is not actual converted business that's going to give you dollars in your pocket. So let's start with Perth here. We're looking at $3,500 for your 250 clicks. In Sydney, it's going to cost you about $2,400. Brisbane, $23. Adelaide, $2,000. And Melbourne, $1,500. Let's drill a little bit deeper on the plumbing situation and just have a look at how much it's actually going to cost you in man hours and time to gross what it's going to cost you in AdWords spend. Note, we're not talking here about what you're going to net. You're still not paying your bills because you're probably only keeping about half of that $100 by the time you pay for your costs and running your vehicle and if you've got some staff working for you, etc. So let's just see what it's going to cost you in time, in blood, sweat and tears in each of the major Australian capitals to actually pay for that paid placement. So we start with Adelaide. You are going to spend 80 hours on site to get those 250 visits to your website. Brisbane's not quite so bad at 51. Perth, 52. Melbourne, 43. And in Sydney, a massive 91 hours. Let's take a look at an actual case study of a Perth-based demolition company that came to us for some help last year. When they started out on their internet marketing campaign, the first thing they did was they actually bought a premium domain name, which cost them $6,000, which was already ranking for their chosen keywords, and they paid an extra $2,500 for the content on that site. From the feedback that we get, that's pretty much about standard. Then they had a monthly outgoing of about $2,000 on AdWords, which, as you can see, based on what we've just looked at, is actually quite cheap. They were paying another $99 a month for hosting. They had an SEO consultant tweaking their domain their ranking and search engine optimization for another $200 a month. So on top of their $8,500 investment, they're also committing themselves to about another $2,300 a month. So if we look at the total cost of the first year, which is what you've really got to look at, you're looking at $6,000 for the domain, $24,000 in paid placement costs, about another $1,200 in hosting costs, and $2,400 in SEO cost. We're looking at $36,088 over the course of a year, and that brings the average monthly cost in at $3,007 a month, which is a fair amount of money. Not unusually, this client did pay above the odds for their initial setup. These rates wouldn't be a problem if they had resulted in enough income to make them profitable. This is the really scary thing though. His website generated a total of just 4 jobs over a 12-month period, leaving him well below break even for the investment. How we solved the problem. Number one, we sat down and we listened, we asked questions, and we understood what the company goals were. We took budgets, frustrations, expectations, laid everything out on day one, so we all knew what we needed to do. Number two, we made some suggestions, we engaged with the client and his team, we had a discussion, and we drew up a plan. Based on that conversation, we put a plan together. That plan was then discussed, explained, and put into action, with the client involved every step of the way. We implemented the plan, we communicated our expectations, and we delivered on them. We made sure that everyone was on the same page, then we implemented the plan that we put together in step 2. The key parts of the plan. Number 1, reduce reliance on online advertising and increase tracking ability. The problem with the previous campaign that he was running was it wasn't really that measurable. He didn't really know what return he was getting on every dollar he was spending. So by streamlining the campaign and giving him good data, we were able to track performance a lot more tightly. Go multimedia and use more than one platform. We produce custom video and utilize things like image galleries in order to visually communicate with potential clients. This also helped us out a lot with ranking content across multiple search channels. Number 3, we're focused on the client's goals. A successful marketing campaign is about profitability. Our focus throughout this plan was to make sure that we were never a cost and always a profit center. We produced measurable results. Costs were cut by more than 40%. By being both realistic and focused in our approach, the client's internet marketing costs were reduced by more than 40% on what he was spending. The jobs generated were more profitable. By hyper-focusing the marketing on his most profitable job types, we were able to ensure that the business that was coming in the door really was highly profitable business. Took his return on investment from in the negatives to over 800%. The client is no longer losing money on his marketing investment. In fact, he is now enjoying an 800% return on his investment. That sounds like a very big number, and we're going to quantify that for you in just a few minutes. Here are some results. What you're looking at here is 1 month's organic activity on Google search. So all of this was produced without paid placement. We worked with the client to focus on swimming pool removal jobs, specifically fiberglass swimming pools. He identified to us that these were the most profitable jobs that he did, netting him around $2,000 in profit per job and taking him and his guy, one guy on site, about a day to complete. He's consistently getting 5 to 6 inbound calls each week, on average 2 of which are converting into actual jobs. That's $4,000 in profit per week that this client is making by implementing a smart internet marketing strategy. Here's the dollars and cents of the matter. Everyone we work with is different. We understand that. That means that our packages are priced based on the individual requirements of our clients. We only work with one tradesman in each industry, in each location, and we stand behind our results. And for that very reason, demolition in Perth is no longer available, and neither is swimming pool removal. In the case of this client, this is roughly how the campaign costs and returns stacked up after 3 months of working together. Total spent on campaign was $6,000 over a quarter. We generated 23 swimming pool removal jobs over 3 months. Total profit from new business was $46,000, meaning a return on investment of 766.67%, and putting the client happiness index, which is our most important metric, absolutely off the charts. So who are we anyway? Everyone in the company has a background in the trades. Our owner, Adam Martelletti, has successfully built 5 different trades-related companies in Western Australia over the last 7 years. We only work with one tradesman in each niche in each location. If you're a plumber in Sydney and you want to dominate that market, you better get in touch now, because if we don't work with you, we will end up working with your competition. This is what separates us from the myriad directory sites and online advertising services. Once you are placed with our service, no one else in your industry can get that placement. We're 100% Australian owned and operated. We understand the business that our clients are in, and we understand the markets that they're operating in. We're currently looking for the best tradies nationwide, but we don't work with just about anyone. So if you want to get the opportunity to see if we're going to be able to work with you, just go ahead and visit yes.contractorsforhire.com.au, and we'll have a conversation and see what we can do together. Are you interested in making more money? We encourage tradesmen nationwide to get in touch with us. If we can't help you achieve your goals, we are not going to accept you as a client. There is no high-pressure sales process here. What we're looking for is an opportunity to discuss your needs, see if we can help, and take it from there. Would you like us to work with you to generate at least 2 more jobs every single week? Would you like to target your internet marketing and do it with a partner who speaks your language? If the answer is yes, and we're pretty sure it will be, visit yes.contractorsforhire.com.au. You can just fill out a form there, give us your details, and one of us will be in touch. Go ahead and do that today, because we get a lot of inquiries from around the country every single day, and our books are filling up very quickly. If you prefer to communicate by email, you can just flick a message to yes@contractorsforhire.com.au, and one of the team will get back to you. If you want to get us on the blower, give Damo a call, that's me, on 08 6102 5682, or give Adam a tinkle on 0431 547 269. Thanks for your time, and we hope you have a great day.